Hey, we're talking about the geeky best of the 2010s. Up next on Geek Out SA. Welcome back to Geek Out SA. It's Friday and we're having fun, and I feel much better now because I was sick earlier today. So, I was sick all night, but now I'm better.
Ish.
Ish.
Better enough to do the show.
So. Better enough to do the show, but thanks for coming and watching us. I really appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe and tell your friends to subscribe because we're still giving away this if we get to 1,000 by December 31st.
We just need 65 people.
We need 65 people.
That's totally doable in 4 days.
Nope, not going to happen. It's going to be mine. 65 people's mine.
Yeah, don't let Stuart have it.
Don't let Stuart have it. Because if we are going to make a video if Stuart gets it.
Yeah.
Back scratcher.
He's going to use it as a back scratcher, people.
We don't want him to do that.
Please.
So please.
Subscribe.
Subscribe to us. Get us to 1,000. Tell your friends. Take their phone away from them and click on subscribe on our channel for us. No, don't do that. Just subscribe if you want to. So, so a lot has happened. It's the end of the decade.
So this is our very last...
It's the end of the decade.
Well, this is our very last show of this decade.
Yeah.
This is our very last show of this decade. And let's just be really honest. Vincent started this in 2013.
Yeah.
So we have been doing this for 6 years. For 6 years, and some people may scoff at us and be like, oh, in 6 years you haven't even gotten 1,000 subscribers. Okay, yeah, because there have been people out there making videos about us and saying that stuff. Okay, so we haven't, but we've been doing this consistently. We're having fun with our friend Stuart. We're talking about geeky things that we like. We're old, so we're not a little kid reviewing toys that he was given and making $26 million a year. It's fine. It's whatever,
So jealous.
I am jealous.
But if you want us to get us to that point, please let us know.
I know where he lives. He's not too far of a drive from here.
Oh, okay.
Black and Silver Diamond says, hey, Vince and Colleen.
Hey.
Goodbye to the 2010s. This decade sucked.
Oh, no way. This decade was awesome. As far as
this
geek
decade was
stuff.
Awesome, yeah.
As far as geek stuff goes, yeah.
This decade was awesome. So how we're going to kind of do it is we're going to go through each year. And then we're going to talk about tech and video games, and we're also going to talk about TV and movies. So,
and I have a list, sorry, and that's why my glasses on, because it's been 10 years.
We all have a list. Even Stuart has a list. So
yeah, great preparation for the show. I get here early and I create a list.
That's right. That's what we do.
That's how we usually do it.
Adam says, "Yo, hey Adam,
hey,
how's it
Adam.
going?" From NNA Vlogs, the essay project.
The essay project.
Definitely check that out.
All right, so let's start. Drum roll, please. 2010.
So 2010. And for 2010, for tech, came the Apple iPad. First came out in 2010.
Really? I was shocked when we saw that earlier, that it was all the way back in 2010.
Yeah.
I didn't
it was quite
remember it being that far back, yeah.
But also, for the Xbox, we got the Kinect. So it was the first time that you do that on an Xbox. Nintendo did a motion sensor.
Like the Wii?
On the Wii.
Oh, okay.
They did it before Xbox did.
But Xbox wasn't very long, right? It didn't go for very long.
The Kinect?
The Kinect?
Yeah.
It did?
Yeah. They did a better job of it than Nintendo. And then Sony came out later. The iPhone 4 came out. So, I don't really use iPhone 4, but that's a big thing. A lot of you people use Apple products. And the Kindle 3 also came out that year.
So really, it's not like any new generations if we're seeing iPhone 4, Kindle 3, those things that have already been out. But the iPad, this was the first year to see an actual iPad, right? Well, that's interesting.
And video games was kind of the same. They had some big hits in 2010. They had Mass Effect 2.
Okay.
Which was kind of really cool.
Yeah.
And Super Mario Galaxy 2.
Mm-hmm.
And the big one, which which was kind of new but kind of not new. They had Redemption was the first year it came out in 2010.
Was it really?
Really?
Oh, yeah. That's a big title.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's had a pretty good run, so.
Grand Theft Auto in the West.
Yeah, pretty much,
Because
yeah.
we'll be talking later about something along those lines for the end of the decade.
So TV?
So TV.
All right,
what's
so
going on with that?
TV, the big one is The Walking Dead. I did not realize The Walking Dead came out in 2010. Did you realize that we've been watching The Walking Dead for almost 10 years?
Yeah, it's a long
That's
time.
a long time. So that kind of started a bunch of things. It kind of was a shooting off point. And so we're going to see after The Walking Dead, some things kind of rise up and begin to happen because of that. And that's a big, like, comic book turned into a TV show kind of thing. So that's big. And then adult cartoons started becoming a big thing. So Adventure Time. Mm-hmm. Adventure Time was the big show that year. And, like, adults started watching cartoons, not just Simpsons and Family Guy, but, like...
So I'm going to interject a little bit further back because they're seeing us.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Live, a little bit further back. So Black and Silver Diamond says the Wii was 2007.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was 2007, but it was before the Xbox Connect
got to that technology,
technology, yeah.
So then 2010, we start seeing the rise of geek movies. So movies are a big thing for us. There were a lot of movies come out every year, obviously. So we have things like that are... It starts the trends of nods back to things that were going on when we were kids. Mm-hmm. And then it starts the trend of, like, moving forward with all these superhero movies, right? So we have nods back to us as Tron Legacy, The A-Team. Then we have Resident Evil, Prince of Persia, Scott Pilgrim versus the World, Kick-Ass, The Last Airbender, Clash of the Titans, which is a nod back to stuff that we watched, like, way back in the day. We're already at Iron Man 2 by this point. Mm-hmm. So I didn't realize that the franchise had started slightly before 2010. Yeah. But the franchise ramps up, and you'll see in this decade, the franchise is ramping up. Resident Evil Afterlife. So I didn't realize Resident Evil had come out some before 2010 as well. But
about 45 of them.
Yeah. So we're going to start seeing more like video game titles becoming movies. We see The Prince of Persia. Scott Pilgrim was hilarious. That was a very geeky movie. That mixture of video game humor and stuff.
Princess Persia just completely crashed.
Oh, no, it was terrible. Yeah, it was awful.
I thought it was okay, but it was supposed to be this next Indiana Jones type thing, and it just went nowhere.
What did you think of Tron Legacy? Because that was kind of a nod back to stuff.
I liked it.
Yeah.
I liked Tron Legacy.
But not as much as the original.
Not as much as the original, no.
All right, so I guess we move on to 2011.
No, I got a couple more.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, a couple of other geeky big things that happened in 2010 TV-wise. My Little Pony Friendship is Magic!
Oh, my God.
Oh, come on.
No.
No. And the other big thing, the big TV thing that ended in 2010 was Lost.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody was watching Lost.
Everybody was falling apart.
Yeah,
so
until the end where it was like, they did a Game of Thrones before Game of Thrones did the,
Yeah.
We have another comment, Black and Silver Diamond, is the Cal art style took over too much of this decade. And Steve Cuneo says, Tron Legacy is still in my top 5 favorite movies.
Really?
Still waiting on Tron the Return.
Tron the Return. Oh, and then another thing that happened in 2010 before we leave it is something that impacted our lives completely is Funko started their pop vinyl collection. So all of these pop figures that we have, that trend started in 2010.
And also what you were talking about, the Marvel movies and that ramping up. The other huge thing in 2010, Disney acquires Marvel.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yep.
And the one thing we will end in on 2010, a little non-geeky note or a geeky note, the meat dress.
Oh, yep. We talked about that earlier, actually.
The meat dress. Lady Gaga.
Yeah.
That's pretty geeky.
All right. Next year.
2011.
2011. So in the tech area, we have the Motorola Zoom, which didn't do so well. It's XOOM. We had the Nintendo 3DS that came out.
That did pretty big. That was pretty big.
That did really well.
Yeah.
We have the Kindle Fire that's doing really well for Amazon with their tablets starting in 2011. And the Samsung Galaxy S2.
And that's where we are. We're Samsung Galaxy people. So that for us was where we finally got something that was kind of comparable to the iPhone, and we started following it from that point forward.
And video games, some huge titles came out in 2011. We had Portal 2,
Oh, yep.
which everybody was playing.
Everybody, yeah.
And then the two biggies. Minecraft came out in 2011.
Oh, dear Lord. The fall of the human race happened in 2011 with Minecraft.
It wasn't only Minecraft, but Skyrim was also out in 2011.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those were problems.
And there was that big thing about taking a arrow to the knee or something for Skyrim.
For Skyrim.
Wasn't it?
Yeah.
That was a thing on social media.
So then we get a really big thing in TV-wise, and we go to Game of Thrones. So that kind of becomes our talking point for the next 8 years. It's like Game of Thrones, really? Game of Thrones? What happened on Game of Thrones? Game of Thrones? So,
Did you watch Game of Thrones?
no. Yes, I did.
Huh?
Oh, yeah. Black Mirror started, which is kind of like a nod back to Twilight Zone. It's kind of a Twilight Zone-esque.
Some of those were
They're
tough
real,
to watch.
real tough to watch. And then we started watching Teen Wolf. So as soon as I saw that had started in 2011, I was like, oh, yeah. So that's, again, kind of that nod back to our childhood, because it's taking those things but then twisting them around. Then as far as movies go, we had some pretty good hits and some pretty big misses in 2011. We had Green Lantern and the Green Hornet in 2011. Those were kind of like... And Transformers Dark of the Moon, those were pretty big misses. We finally get Captain America. So we see him, we get to see him, and he starts that journey, which I think is a pivotal kind of point.
And then this is when Disney's already in it.
Yeah, Disney's in it, and it's a pivotal point because we're going to start getting some things because of Captain America. We start to see some tabletop games become movies with real steel. That was Rock'em Sock'em Robots. I don't know if anybody knew that, but Rock'em Sock'em Robots led to Real Steel. And then something really painful for a lot of us was the ending of Harry Potter. So 2011 was the end. It was the Deathly Hallows.
It's weird to think that Harry Potter was, like, out of this decade.
Yeah, much further back. And then we start to see a new reimagining of X-Men with X-Men First Class. Which I really enjoyed. I really enjoyed seeing the new characters. For me, that was a really good turn with seeing them. So
and another reimagining that came out in 2011 was the new Planet of the Apes, which was the second time around.
Yeah, I didn't put that on there, but for me, I really loved that series. So yeah, that was on there too. So yeah, some hits and misses in 2011. Not as much going on.
Wow.
It was kind of a...
Come on. I had 50 Shades of Grey.
No, that's not...
yes.
That's not geeky.
Yes,
I mean, technically, because...
Technically, it is very geeky because it's a fan fiction of Twilight.
Yeah, because Twilight was coming to an end also in 2011. We're getting the last of those movies.
Is that why she wrote it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, and the other big geeky thing that happened in comics, at least, was DC completely and utterly obliterated their universe and started again. Yeah. The New 52.
The New 52.
Geeky Families is watching us right now, and they said, so sad when the kids finish Harry Potter.
Yeah, it was the worst. And like the boys and I would run to get the books as soon as they came out, and then we were racing each other, trying to, it's my turn to read it, and we're trying to read and not tell Vince any spoilers because he only wants to see the movies.
There's like 4 different bookmarks in there.
Yeah. But it was a great family thing that we could do. So for the movies to end, it was kind of sad because that was something like the whole time our boys were growing up that was part of our household and part of our family. So that was a big hit to me right there. So next we go to 2012.
So in tech, the Microsoft Surface was introduced in 2012, as well as Windows 8.
Is the Surface the first one that was touchscreen?
Yes. Well, it's the first tablet / laptop.
Yeah.
The super high def 4K TVs were introduced in 2012.
Really? Back that far? I didn't realize that.
Yeah. And the Google Project Glass with the
which never really
Google
hit off.
Glass. It never really hit off, but that's when it was introduced. This is when it was in its project prototype phase, and everybody was really excited for it. I think Snapchat did something similar to it that kind of flopped, like as soon as it was launched.
Well, I think we'd all seen so many movies of people being able to see things in their glasses and like spies and stuff, and you blink your eyes or whatever and turn and stuff, and we all thought, oh, that's the future, right? And we didn't quite get there. So that's interesting to see.
We also get faster, better Wi-Fi with 802.11 AC. So it's just it was the next Wi-Fi thing. You could just connect faster. Google Fiber launches in 2012.
Really? It launched back then?
It launched all the way back in 2012.
Yay! So. It's in my neighborhood now.
I know, it was like, and 10 years later, we'll finally get it.
And we have it. And we have it here in San Antonio, so that's great.
Yeah. Video game-wise, Nintendo Wii U came out in 2012, and everybody was confused.
Yeah, everybody was like, what's the point of this?
I don't understand it. And video games, there wasn't a lot that came out in 2012. The only one that I can remember that came out that was a really big thing was Hotline Miami, which was like an 8-bit version of Grand Theft Auto.
Oh, really? Lots of Grand Theft Auto.
Super over-the-top violent and stuff like that.
Well, people are so enthralled with Minecraft still at this point, they're not moving, right? So TV...
Steve Cuneo says the Google Glass was way ahead of its time. It was and it wasn't.
Like, we should be further into that, I would think. We should be further into that. I'm surprised that we're not. So I wonder if it's because we're all too stupid and we can't not text and walk already.
Well, I think they haven't made it cheap enough for consumers. It's too expensive. Nobody's going to plop down that for what it does.
Right. Unless they can get it more user-friendly or less expensive or whatever. Yeah. Do like a VR, AR Google Glass component where you're just wearing something, seeing the world, seeing all your task screens to where you're not looking down at your phone, but you're looking. It would be interesting. People would get used to it, I think, quicker than people think that they would. So for TV, obviously the Arrow, that was the big one that started for us, started all of the CW shows and started those playlists of things that we really wanted to watch. I think the Arrow.
We weren't even watching it. We didn't watch the first season.
Not at first, but for me, it's the cornerstone of everything that comes after. Yeah. We're going to see things that happen on Netflix and CW and stuff that comes from a really good, finally a really well-made comic-based television show, except for like Smallville. Like we've talked about Smallville a lot, but that was kind of older.
But the Arrow really launched the superhero.
And then one of the things that I wanted to bring up just for your sake, because I was looking through all the shows, was Elementary, because you really loved Johnny. What's his name from Hackers? And then he's
Johnny Lee Miller.
Yeah, and then he's in Elementary, and that was a good show too, which we need to go back and catch some of the seasons that we missed. And then you start to see mainstream anime on the Cartoon Network. And so they come out with Sword Art Online. And that is part of the Cartoon Network. And so that begins in 2011 or 2012. So you'll be seeing some more of that going forward.
Right.
Then we get to come back to the Lord of the Rings universe and we get The Hobbit. So geeks are like, ooh.
Hobbit.
And then it starts the whole war between all the different geek factions as well. Because that year we have The Hobbit, The Amazing.
And it's also part of the Not Like the Book thing with the Harry Potter series.
Right.
Too.
Like everybody freaking out. So that year alone, check it out. We have The Hobbit, The Amazing Spider-Man, The Dark Knight Rises, The Avengers, Ghost Rider. All of those are like comic book related or geeky book related. Then we have, going back to things like revisiting them, we have Dread, which I know you really liked the new Dread.
I did like the new Dread.
We have Total Recall, which is a nod to another movie back in the 80s. We have Wrath of the Titans to follow Clash of the Titans finally. Because in our time, Clash of the Titans was it, but now we see the franchise like moving forward.
Do you have the other one? If it's in another year, tell me when the year comes out, but the one that I hated,
I didn't see that one, so it wasn't like top 50 or whatever. I just looked at the top 50 for each year, and I was like, if it's not in the top 50, it doesn't get mentioned. Abe
Like
Lincoln.
RoboCop.
Oh no, RoboCop's in here. Yeah, Abe Lincoln Vampire Hunter was also in there, and another Resident Evil. Like we haven't had enough Resident Evil at this
we
point.
We can never have enough.
So yeah, we start to see some other things coming out of this, not just the Marvel, the Avengers and stuff like that, but we're seeing Spider-Man come and try to get a hold of it.
Thanks, Sean, for watching. He says, I made it. Geek
Hey.
Family says, Hobbits are my spirit people.
Yayos.
And Lennon's Kitchen says, hey, guys. Hey, Lennon. Thanks for watching.
Oh, and then, since we're talking about tabletop games that become movies, unfortunately, now we have Battleship as a movie in 2012. I'm like, no. Why?
Why not?
It was watchable. It was watchable. Yeah. That's all I'm gonna say about that. So that's it for 2012. Not anything too big.
Avengers.
I said Avengers.
You did say Avengers?
Yeah.
Hunger Games. Did you say that?
No, because
You don't care. Yeah.
I like the book better.
So 2013.
No. We're still on 2012.
What do we have?
There's a couple of other ones. A couple of one big TV series ended. Breaking Bad, of course.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We'd all been watching that, and a big one that started on Netflix. Probably Netflix's first really big one. Orange is the New Black.
Oh yeah. But I didn't think that was geeky, so I didn't mention.
Oh, and the final thing, the House of Mouse consumes Lucasfilms. They're very hungry.
They are very hungry. Sometimes you gotta own everything. It's fine. Hail the mouse.
Hail the mouse.
So 2013. So in 2013, the Oculus Rift was released, as well as short-form video platforms like Vine and Instagram and Snapchat. So those came out in 2013.
I blame you, 2013.
The smartwatch came out in 2013. The Pebble was the very first one that was crowd launched.
Really?
And then copied really quickly.
Yeah. And then Google Glass was finally released to the consumers.
Mm-hmm.
And Touch ID on the iPhone 5S came out. So that was a big thing. So you could like open your...
That is a big thing. I use that a lot, so that people aren't looking in my phone, particularly children who don't need to see.
Video games, big year. 2013 was like huge. End of the year, basically. That's PlayStation 4 and Xbox One went head to head and was released.
Oh, yeah.
So, like...
Yeah, and that kind of started the whole battle.
Again.
Because that has kind of been a big rift between gamers ever since then. Yeah. Are you a PlayStation gamer or are you an Xbox gamer?
Back like you were either Sega or Nintendo.
Yeah.
And video game wise, the two big ones that came out was The Last of Us.
That was a big one, yeah.
And another sequel which has gone like huge. DOTA 2, which is a huge online gaming presence.
Mm-hmm.
Colleen just goes,
I don't know what that one is.
Talk about your movies.
Well, first TV show. So now we add another TV show that people will not shut up about that's animated is Rick and Morty. People go on and on and on about Rick and Morty. So Rick and Morty started in 2013. Unfortunately, we get stupid Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., so we've got to watch all of that drama.
It started off good.
It was all right.
And then it got weird.
I
and
don't
then
like
we
Daisy.
got later something else.
I don't like Daisy. She whines too much. We get another mainstream anime in Attack on Titan.
Mm-hmm.
That one goes huge. And then just for us...
We hated watching that one.
No, I hated it because of you.
Yeah.
Not because I don't like the anime, but because you think you can speak Japanese and then you are
can.
Speaking in Japanese all during my whole anime because I like to watch subbed. And so I want to read it and listen to it. And then he's like speaking Japanese, but he can't. It's annoying.
I'm repeating what they're saying.
But it's annoying. I don't like it. And then for
I'm
us,
trying to learn Japanese.
For us, we really liked Sleepy Hollow. That came out that year,
Yeah.
and we watched the heck out of that. That was really good.
That was really good.
That was very fantasy horror type mashup, and then Defiance. And I really thought Defiance was going to go further than it did because I thought it was good.
I thought it was great.
Yeah.
It was like one of my favorite shows.
Yeah. So now in 2013, as far as movies go, now we're going to see an uprising of zombie stuff, right? Because we started with The Walking Dead. The Walking Dead has picked up, and so we're going to see it. So we see Warm Bodies because, you know, we got to make it funny. And then we see another Hobbit. We're going to see G.I. Joe. We're down to Iron Man 3. Then Star Trek is like, well, it's my turn. So Star Trek comes in with Into Darkness. And we see the Man of Steel. So we see Henry Cavill for the first time as Superman, which for us was great and started another big rift in the culture because people didn't like the way he tore down the city. And we were like, well, you know, he was kind of new to all this power stuff and really like using it as a superhero. So there was this whole big rift for that. Pacific Rim comes in and reminds us of Godzilla-esque movies. We start to see Hugh Jackman building steam as Wolverine, and he gets his own standalone movie as the Wolverine. Kick-Ass 2, Riddick. Yeah, that Riddick movie was good that year.
Was good.
Ender's Game, which I totally loved and went and read the books because of that movie. It was really good. Thor, the first Thor, which was, it was okay, but it started. And then for you, to tie with your tech, we have the movie Her. Yeah. Which I thought was an interesting look at man versus tech and that interconnectivity of that. So we start to, I think, kind of ask ourselves about that because we are getting these more interactive technologies.
Yeah.
So again, we're ramping up, like we're getting more geek stuff in 2013.
What else is happening on your side, Stuart?
Well, I can end 2013 with a bang.
Okay, end it.
Hannah Montana became Miley Cyrus at the VMAs and killed it.
Woo!
And
we do see a transition in this decade.
We never go back.
Yep, we will see a transition this decade of a lot of Disney character kids becoming adults.
Yep, never go back. Can't unsee it.
Sean says G.I. Joe, so disappointing. Yes,
yeah,
G.I. Joe
it was disappointing. All right, 2014.
So in tech, the Google Chromecast comes out, which is kind of short-lived. It's out there, but I don't think it's doing as well as other things. Amazon Fire TV, which I think kind of overtook it, came out in 2014.
Yeah.
I think Chromecast is more, everybody uses it more to cast from your phone to a device.
But now it's built, things are built in so you could connect to your TV anyway.
Yeah.
Smart home devices are starting to become more affordable for consumers. So there was a lot of consumer smart home things that were coming out that year. The Apple Watch comes out, so Apple stole it
from Pebble.
From Pebble. And also at that same time, drones become more consumer friendly because there was a ton of drones that came out with the video camera and stuff.
Yeah. Cool. Video games?
Video games. There wasn't a huge amount on the video game list that came out in 2014. Destiny was the only one I can think of.
That really came out. So TV was actually pretty big that year. So we get The Flash, which is great. We get Gotham, which we loved. I don't care what anybody says about it. Star Wars Rebels comes out. That's animated. We see Constantine that year. And for Vince, Silicon Valley. Yes. So again, that's that tech uprising, right? So we had some really good shows come out in 2014. Unfortunately for Vince, RoboCop comes out in 2014.
It wasn't too bad.
We revisit that. He hated it so much.
It was all right.
We got Godzilla. Finally, people have been waiting a million years for Godzilla. I thought it was terrible. I was not impressed. We get the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles with Megan Fox.
Did we miss something in 2013?
I don't think so.
Yeah, we did miss something. Geek Out SA starts in 2013.
Well, we said that at the beginning of the show.
Yeah.
So we get Captain America Winter Soldier, Amazing Spider-Man 2, X-Men Days of Future Past, Transformers Age of Extinction, Guardians of the Galaxy comes out that year. We're now at Hobbit Battle of the Five Armies. So just a ton of stuff.
Geek Family says Chromecast is perfect for hotel TVs.
Oh,
True.
very good.
So thanks
very
for
good.
that, Geek Families. Appreciate that.
And then for me on my side, I just wanted to mention a couple of movies. Maleficent, because it's one of my favorites. It came out with Angelina Jolie. And then John Wick, that whole series, like, you know, was
Has
really
it been
awesome.
that long that Maleficent has come out?
Yeah, I didn't realize that. I didn't
Wow.
realize it had been that long. It seemed like not too long ago
Yeah,
because they
I
just
just-
had the second one.
Yeah.
But no, it was a long time in between the two. That's why I wanted to mention it, because I was like, oh, shut up. And I didn't know that 300 also came out in 2014. I thought it came out long ago, but
Wow.
it was in 2014.
Huh.
Yeah, crazy. So those were a couple of those. So again, we're ramping up. We're starting to see the Guardians of the
Max
Galaxy now.
Dawson says Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, that's on my list. Yeah, so we begin to see them, and we're branching off now. And now we're going to start to begin to see some more branching off after we get past this point.
Yeah. Well, talking about ramping up, I think 2014 was the year of the selfie.
Oh, yeah.
That was the year that Alan posted that pic at the Academy Awards with all the people there. I think it became the most shared picture in the universe for a small amount of time.
Right.
And talking about movies and stuff, and the ramping up, well, the ramping down in 2014 came in the end of Blockbuster.
Oh, Blockbuster
It was
Video.
300,
Game.
the sequel that came out in 2014.
Oh, that's right. The Rise of the Empire.
The
The
Rise
Rise,
of the
of an
Empire.
Empire. That's
Yeah.
right. That's right. I was like, I forgot about that.
So we can all be sad that Blockbuster.
Poor Blockbuster. Well, it was a thing like when we were
It
growing
was.
up
It
and
was
when
so
our kids
huge.
were. And remember, you could rent the video games and like check them out before you paid, $60 for a video game. Before you could even get them in the mail through that other thing that we did. Man, I loved Blockbuster. We used to go all the time, but I hated it because you'd go and there was a line, and then like the new movies you couldn't even get them because people had gotten them all. So, all right. So what are we on? 2015.
2015.
Dun dun dun.
So in tech, the Sphero BB-8 comes out,
Yayos.
which is like one of the best toys I've had in a long time to play with. And that was just a really big thing that year, and we just happened to get one at the Disney store. So
Yeah.
that was kind of cool. The Polaroid Snap, it's the digital instant camera, came out that year. So,
Stupid tech.
hey, it was kind of going back to our old roots.
Stupid tech.
Windows 10 comes out in
More-
2015.
More stupid tech.
The Apple TV comes out in 2015. And the Swagway X1 hoverboard comes out, the one with the 2 wheels.
Oh yeah.
That was like their batteries are like overheating and
Yeah.
catching on fire. And the last one on my list is the Amazon Echo.
Is that your Alexa?
Yeah.
Precursor to the Alexa.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
Vincent's very best friend in the whole world. She
Yeah.
tells him stories and jokes and sings him songs about technology.
Mm-hmm.
Please help me. Get me out of here.
Yes, she will kill you in your sleep.
She's going to. Any video game stuff that
Yeah,
year?
there was a Witcher 3 talking about killing you in your sleep, and Bloodborne, and Metal Solid Gear 5 finally.
Oh,
Yeah.
I remember that because I couldn't see Vince for a few weeks. He's all video games. So TV blows up that year. We get Supergirl.
Oh, 2015, Sci-Fi Tonians comes out.
Yes. Well, I hadn't gotten there yet.
Yeah. Well, Max Dawson.
So TV blows up. We see Netflix decide to take a run at comic books. So we see Daredevil and Jessica Jones. We see Lucifer, Supergirl. We see Agent Carter, iZombie, Sense8, Mr. Robot, Fear the Walking Dead, and then another anime comes, One Punch Man. So,
Yeah.
I mean, TV just blew up that year. There was a ton of stuff. I was like, and like everything I was looking at, I was like, oh yeah.
One Punch Man is the stupidest thing ever.
Oh my God, so many people love that. And then the movies weren't that big of a deal. I mean, we get Age of Ultron for Avengers. Like, Avengers is keeping us going, right? They've got us on the hook now, and so
Colleen
they're
would
keeping
hate
us
to
going.
watch that One Punch Man because I'll speak Japanese through it.
I don't want to listen. Oh, your favorite movie came out in 2015? Fantastic Four.
No,
You sure?
that was not my favorite
That's
movie.
your favorite movie.
That's not
your
my
favorite.
movie.
No, actually, that did come out, but Star Wars: The Force Awakens comes out in
Yes.
2015, which is why you get your Sphero BB-8. We see another video game movie, which is Hitman Agent 47, and we return to Jurassic World with Chris Pratt because he did so well in Guardians of the Galaxy. So they're like, hey, that guy can revive this franchise. We see them branch out to Ant-Man at this point.
Oh, Max Dawson says Shades of Grey movies.
Yeah,
Movie.
boo. We don't,
Yeah, no.
we don't talk about those. We get to revisit Mad Max. I actually loved that Mad Max.
Yeah,
I
that
really
was a good
did.
one.
I really did love that
Even
one.
though, well, I don't think Mel Gibson could have done it at that point. He's too old.
No, I actually liked it better than the older ones. Like Thunderdome is my favorite Mad Max because Tina Turner and children. So it's my favorite.
But this one, you could really believe that he was mad.
Yeah, I really liked this one. Like, I really liked this one. And then for me, a movie that I picked in 2015, which I thought was techie and was kind of like in our geeky wheelhouse, was Chappie. I loved Chappie. Loved Chappie. It was great. It was the if you haven't seen that, the personality of that robot is just superb. And just looking it up made me want to actually watch it again. So we may be watching that this weekend because we own it. So that's it for me for 2015.
And a couple of other little anecdotes. Bruce and Caitlyn Jenner. And the White House got turned rainbow colours. That was lovely.
That was lovely.
And talking about fruity things, Hamilton the musical started.
Oh,
my
really?
God, I'm so sick.
So nobody will ever be quiet about Hamilton the
No.
musical ever again after
No.
2015.
Still haven't seen it.
Still haven't seen it.
I used to have a very young lady that used to help us with conventions and stuff, and she would not stop singing. Hamilton. So sick and tired of it.
So, 2016,
2016.
in tech, the GoPro Hero 5 Black comes out.
That's a big deal.
Yeah, tons of people getting that. The Google Pixel and Pixel XL came out. The NES Classic Edition comes out, which I have one of those.
Which we
It's
totally
really
have.
cool. Apple AirPods come out in 2016.
Did they really?
They did.
Wow. I did not know that.
And the drone DJI Mavic Pro comes out, which is,
Such a random thing.
but that's like one of the top drones right now that are, it's like a ton of money right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And the iPhone 7 and iPhone 7 Plus.
You know what don't have on your list there, and that it's sucked more of your time in that year and probably more years. Pokemon Go came out that year.
Oh.
Play the game, Colleen.
I was going to mention that because it's my number one thing of 2016.
Oh my
Vince,
God.
I still play it. Vincent hates it. He's hated it for 3 years now.
Yeah.
Probably. That first year, Vince liked it, and he
Yeah.
would walk around and play it with me.
I liked it because it's all Pokemon stuff, but yeah, I can't stand the game. And the other video game for that year, Overwatch, came out.
Oh, yeah. I could not get the kids to shut up about Overwatch. I actually made Overwatch memes about my classroom management stuff so that my kids would pay attention.
What's going on? They're saying that our video is stuck.
Oh, that's not good. Let me fix that.
It was saying bad stream at the beginning, so no Google Fiber for us.
Yeah, there you go. Look at that. That's all
What did you change?
I changed the setting.
So, let us know if you can see us.
But you can
for
hear
good.
us.
You can hear us, apparently.
So TV-wise, we get a big, huge hit in 2016, Stranger Things, which really launches Dungeons & Dragons again and brings some of that tabletop gaming to the forefront. We get Westworld with a really great futuristic look and robots. I love Westworld. We get DC Legends of Tomorrow. We get Preacher, and we get Luke Cage. And then for anime, we get My Hero Academia, which is another mainstream one.
Cool.
Then Star Wars wants to keep it going, so they give us Rogue One. And then we get a ton. This year we get a ton of superhero type, comic book type movies. So we get Deadpool. Unfortunately, we get Batman versus Superman. We get Captain America Civil War. We get X-Men Apocalypse. We got Star Trek Beyond. We got Suicide Squad. We get Max Steel. We get Doctor Strange. Then for video games, we get Assassin's Creed and Warcraft, which I thought Warcraft was going to be pretty terrible, and it actually wasn't too terrible. It was actually pretty decent.
Yeah, no, I liked it. And the critics didn't.
No, yeah, but I didn't think it was bad. Unfortunately, we begin to get this rift in 2016 of people wanting more leading ladies, so they tried out Ghostbusters with an all-female cast, and that got hit really hard. I didn't think it was terrible. It was just a reimagining, different. Those actresses are funny, so it was funny.
The next one that's coming out is a complete departure.
Yeah, because it's children. Yeah. So, another Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which was Boo, and then they tried to hook us with Independence Day Resurrection, which was awful. It was horrible.
No Will Smith.
No Will Smith, no point.
Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah, but the first one was fun. I really, really liked the first one. I like beg Vince to watch it every July 4th because I really liked it. But no, finally Ryan Reynolds gets to be in a comic book movie that he's successful at. So he's in Deadpool.
Yeah, which he leaked the footage because he wanted to do something to get rid of the stench of Green Lantern.
Of Green Lantern, yeah. So all in all, it was a pretty good year for movies. And then for me, it's a good year because we get to return to the Harry Potter universe with Fantastic Beasts. Mm-hmm. So a lot of people didn't want to return without Harry Potter, but for me, I love it. I love the direction that they took and letting us see these different characters. So back to Harry Potter. And that's a wrap for 2016 for me.
Yeah, that's it.
And then I was going to say Pokemon Go, but it's your...
Pokemon.
2017.
So in the tech world, the Super NES Classic Edition comes out. The first time a real big micro SD comes out, 400 gigabyte card from SanDisk. The Sphero R2D2 comes out, which Colleen also has one of those. The Google Home Mini comes out to kind of go up against the...
to go up against Alexa, yeah.
To go up against the Echo, yeah. And the Nintendo Switch comes out in 2017, as well as the iPhone 10.
That becomes a big thing.
Yes, still is a big thing.
Still is a big thing. The Switch is still big on people's... A lot of my kids bring theirs to school and play it, especially because you can take those controllers off, and so they'll share them with each other, and they can a couple of kids can play, and then a couple of kids can watch because it's got a big enough screen. That's what they do on their lunch break, which if I paid that.
Around on horses.
Mm-hmm.
Horizon Zero Dawn was another one that came out in 2017, and then the one we dropped the mic on and say it's all over. Fortnite.
Oh, yep.
Yeah.
The free game. Subscribe now.
Do
you want that hat? It's going to cost you.
Is that when we start getting those microtransactions?
No.
Or it starts to become a big deal?
Before, but it
happened before, but this was the one that basically said, here's a free game. Oh, you want something?
Everything's going to cost you. Yeah.
I mean, it had been done before, but I think Fortnite really pushed it.
Yeah. So that's interesting. So then as far as TV goes, we finally get The Punisher, which we had been waiting for, and I thought that was really great. Since we've seen Jessica Jones and we've seen Luke Cage, we get Iron Fist, which I didn't really like.
I kind of like Iron Fist.
We finally get a new Star Trek in Star Trek Discovery, which I really liked. And then,
A show.
Yeah. I'm talking about TV shows. And then because we have a new Star Trek, now all of a sudden we have a Star Trek parody, so we get the Orville with Seth MacFarlane, which I wanted to like, and I just didn't. For me, the humor just went, And, we've had iZombie and Walking Dead and Fear the Walking Dead, and then we get a comedy, The Santa Clarita Diet, which is freaking hilarious. Yeah. Hilarious. Like, if you haven't watched that, go find it, because it's over now, but it was hilarious. And then they pick up Riverdale on CW. So, and I was really concerned about Riverdale, but it hits the mark.
Good. But then we haven't been watching it last 2
No,
seasons.
but we're going to. Now, in movies, guess what we get? Another Resident Evil. We're not
Yay,
done,
yay,
folks.
yay.
More Resident Evil. John Wick 2 finally comes out. We get Power Rangers, which is a mix-up of Power Rangers and The Breakfast Club, which was kind of awesome. I actually liked it.
I really liked it.
I did too. We get
I like the
Guardian.
new suits.
Yeah, I liked Power Rangers. We get Guardians of the Galaxy 2. We get Wonder Woman. We get Spider-Man Homecoming. We get the absolute, for me, best Thor movie ever, Thor Ragnarok.
Yes.
Just died laughing. Like, watched that like 4 or 5 times. We get Justice League, which is okay. After Batman vs. Superman, I was afraid. But Justice League actually ended up, you know, kind of surpassing what I thought it was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
Lego Batman, which was hilarious. Super funny. Logan, Old Man Logan, which, like, broke my heart. We get Ghost in the Shell.
Yeah.
So, Alien Covenant. Unfortunately, we get another Transformers movie. And for Vince, we get Blade Runner 2049.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we had a pretty big year there in 2017 as far as movies go. Yep. And that's it for me.
It was also big everywhere else because we had #MeToo
Oh, yeah.
and of course that president thing, which
Yeah, well, we don't talk about
we
that.
don't talk about. And then the biggest pop culture thing that happened in 2017 was a certain knockoff of a certain Back to the Future character complaining about a certain McDonald's sauce, and it came back, and it was huge.
Really? What are you talking about?
Rick and Morty.
Oh, I don't watch Rick and Morty, so I don't know.
They had this thing on the sauce that came out with the Mulan movie years ago. The shit, I can't even pronounce it.
The Szechuan?
Szechuan sauce, and of course, because of that, McDonald's brought it back in a very limited thing, and it was like stupidly huge.
It was like going to Popeyes for a chicken sandwich?
Basically, yeah.
Okay.
It was like,
All right.
Yeah. It was 2017.
Hashtag things we don't understand.
Going to Popeyes.
But it was the same and good.
Yeah.
Not like the Popeye
Not like the
sandwich.
Popeye sandwich.
Yeah. Let's go on to the next year.
Yes.
So 2018.
2018.
So in tech, the Sony PlayStation Classic comes out. So if you want to play your cool old games
Play
on
Monster
the
Rancher.
NES, on the PlayStation Classic.
And what, a week later it was slashed to like $10 or something? Because it was so awful.
And this is just like upgrades. Most of the stuff is just upgrades. The iPhone XS and 10R came out. The Amazon Echo Dot 3rd generation comes out. Amazon Fire Stick with 4K comes out. And the Oculus Go.
So
it's
yeah,
mobile Oculus,
we're just
so
kind of adding to the tech we already have, upgrading
our tech in
Yeah,
2018.
nothing great. Any video games in 2018?
It would be good if I looked that up, right?
That's okay.
That's all right.
TV, there's nothing notable actually in 2018. It's kind of the same as tech. It's kind of riding the waves of itself. And the shows were...
Geek Families has something for you right now.
Oh.
Go ahead. Go. Let me see if you have it. I won't tell you what it is.
Okay.
I've got it on my list, so
For TV shows?
yeah. What
Yeah.
the hell?
Oh, I didn't see anything
Go
on
ahead.
the top 50 TV shows.
So for TV shows,
You do it.
it's the first female Doctor Who.
Technically not the first, but yes, the first.
Oh, well, I guess
Yeah.
it didn't show me, like, I just looked at things that were released in 2018. So Doctor Who's been out since the 70s.
Yeah.
So it didn't show me, like, because it's not released in 2018. It just showed me, like,
because
things
it's
that...
been going on
Right.
since forever.
Yeah, I was just looking for things that were released that year. So as far as movies, again, we're hitting it again with the comic movies. So we've got Black Panther, and
Oh, that was such a
we've
good
got
movie.
Avenger Infinity War,
That was really
Deadpool
good,
2, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Venom, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, and Aquaman. Then we get Bumblebee, which was not as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Bumblebee was good.
Yeah. We get Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. We get another video game turned movie, Rampage, which was good for a cheesy movie.
Yeah.
We unfortunately get Ready Player One, which made me cry. We get a Return to Tomb Raider. We get Pacific Rim Uprising. We get Solo, which we really liked, and nobody else did. But Vincent and I really liked it.
That.
Really liked Solo. And then for me, we keep going with Harry Potter, so we're in Crimes of Grindelwald now by 2018. So again, I'm a happy camper. I really liked the majority of the movies in 2018. I did not like Ready Player One.
That was
I
Marvel heavy.
wept during Ready Player One. It was that horrible. Like, for me personally, because I connected to the book so much. It was very Marvel heavy.
Very Marvel heavy.
Very Marvel heavy in 2018. Loved Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
Probably one of the best things that year. By far. So, I mean, Deadpool's funny, but Deadpool's Deadpool. It's the same potty humor, just a second time, you know. So Infinity War is good, but in 2019 we're really going to see the Avengers that we
Lennon
want to see.
says in 2018 he joined the San Antonio YouTube group.
Woohoo! Way to go, Lennon.
And that's where I met the awesome Vince. Oh, well, thank you, Lennon.
That's
I appreciate
nice.
it. You're pretty awesome too.
Any other awesome stuff happen in 2018? No, 2018 was kind of like, we're keeping it level because 2019 is going to blow up. So this is it.
So this is
This
it.
is
2019.
No.
So this is the final year.
This is it. The final year of the decade.
In tech, it's a lot more of upgrades.
Upgrades.
Again. So we have the Apple AirPods Pro come out, but the AirPods have already come out, but the Pro is out. Nintendo Switch Lite, which is just the handheld.
It's basically a Game Boy.
Yeah.
This version of the Game Boy.
Pretty much.
The Amazon Echo Buds, so to compete with the AirPods.
With the AirPods.
The Apple Phone 11 Pro Max comes out this year. Came out this year, as well as the Amazon Echo Dot with a clock. And that was it. That I thought was notable and that I
Right.
was
Right. We're picking things that we
noteworthy.
think are notable. Yeah.
Yeah,
Anything?
more sequels on video games.
Yeah.
Pokemon Sword and Shield. Of course.
Yeah, that was the big one that everybody was talking about this year. And
yeah.
them dropping the hint that Diablo's coming out, but not until like 2030.
Yeah.
So might as well not hold our breath.
Devil May Cry 5, maybe.
Yeah,
we
maybe.
got a cool Facebook post to our to this video. Roel says, "You guys are the best thing in the 2010s." So
Sweet.
thank you,
Roel.
I appreciate that.
Thank you. So as far as TV shows, unfortunately, we get Batwoman, which for me is a big miss, a huge miss.
I just watch it for Alice.
Alice, she's the only character that's worth mentioning in that. And then the big hit for us is The Mandalorian, right? Watched the final one today.
Yeah.
We usually don't watch it until after the show so that we're not tempted to say anything about it.
But since we were doing this...
But since Vince was all sickly, I was like, I guess since you're sickly, I'll give you some medicine and The Mandalorian to make you feel better. So we made a funny meme, or something that I think is a funny meme. So if you want to check it out, it's on our Facebook account and our Twitter and our Instagram, because I thought we were funny. And so I put it out there. And then we
collaborated on that, which was awesome.
Yes. And did I say that? I said we made it, right? Or did I say I made it? I'm sorry. I was very selfish. Vincent helped. And Vince helped.
A little bit. I added one thing.
So, the number one thing, obviously, for us movie-wise this year is Rise of Skywalker. We've already seen it a couple of times. We thought we were going to go see it a third, but we've been pretty tired from the holidays, so we didn't go see it a third time. I wept like a baby, just bawling my eyes out, like cried my eyes out. It was awesome. Avengers Endgame really wraps things up for everybody, and we weep in that movie this year. If you've been watching it, you cry. Captain Marvel comes out, and it's disappointing for me. Shazam comes out, and it's spectacular. I was like, Shazam is spectacular. They revisit Hellboy, not great. Didn't love it. We wrap up John Wick, liked it. We thought Brightburn was going to be great, was horrible. What?
One thing that we missed in 2018 is Stan Lee passes away. So Sean says 2018 Excelsior.
Yeah.
Which I got to interview him.
Well, and I didn't talk about
twice.
Carrie dying or any of that stuff.
Yeah.
That I didn't go there. I didn't go there. That wasn't where I wanted to go.
It's notable in the geek community though.
Yeah. We see Zombieland 2. We've been waiting 10 years. We waited 10 years to see a sequel to Zombieland. Can you believe that?
Yeah,
10 years.
It didn't even seem that long.
But it was. And it was pretty good. We revisit Jumanji again with Jumanji 2.
So it was in 99?
It was in
Was
2009.
2009?
Yeah, 2009 was the first Zombieland. So they waited 10 years. Wow. Yeah. On
That's
the mark.
crazy.
Yep. We went and saw Jumanji 2 the other day. It was hilarious. We just died laughing. It was totally worth it. Mm-hmm. The Joker is super dark and comes out this year. Like, it's not really, for your kids.
It's really good. Really good, though.
Really good. Really gut-wrenching, but not for children.
Not a kid movie at all.
I don't know if you were listening earlier, Vince, because you didn't comment, but Brightburn, really thought that was going to be great. Was horrible.
Really hated it.
Really awful. Mm-hmm. We see Dark Phoenix. It was okay. Godzilla, we finally see King of Monsters. We finally see more of Godzilla, so I was happier with that one than I was with the first one. The first one I was disappointed. And then we visit Maleficent again. So this year for me was a good year for movies. Alita, Battle Angel, I liked that one too. Mm-hmm. This was a good year for movies. So all in all.
And just jumping back to TV, Game of Thrones ended and everybody rioted.
Well, I don't think people thought...
My favorite for this year has got to be Star Wars.
Right.
So that, and I really think that kind of closed out the saga altogether. It really answered everything that had questions in the other movies.
Oh, yeah. Because, the last two things I've got is, again, the mouse gobbles up something else. They acquire Fox. And the screaming lady and the cat meme get overtaken by the child Baby Yoda memes.
Yeah. Nothing but Baby Yoda.
And we can go out on just Baby Yoda.
Baby Yoda. That should be the end. The end of the decade.
We should have left it with our...
we should have put our meme up.
So if you haven't seen it, it's on Facebook, so check it out. It's also on Twitter, so check it out there. But
so what a long decade. We went from being almost 40 to being almost 50.
Yeah.
So
speak for yourself.
So I guess we'll see what the next... I think with the rise of everything geek, it's just going to keep coming. Mm-hmm. They're just going to keep bringing us stuff. We're going to see more female leads. We've already seen Black Widow's getting her own movie. We're already seeing the second installation of Wonder Woman is coming out.
That looks good.
I'm assuming they're going to do other standalone movies for Star Wars aside from Solo. Mm-hmm. I'm sure Mandalorian is coming back for another season.
No.
So we'll get to hopefully
Lost in Space is coming out.
Lost in Space is coming back.
Second season.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll get to stay in the Star Wars universe. I know a lot of people don't want to, since Return of the Jedi and Empire Strikes Back. They want to stay in that time period. I love the Star Wars universe. Mm-hmm. We were rewatching the movies and just the little boy with the broom and.
Well, they keep saying that they signed Keanu for something in Star Wars.
Yeah, well, we'll see what that is.
I mean, he's hot right now in the
Let's put
industry.
all the Keanu movies coming out on one day, so we can just have.
Which they are going to do that.
I love Keanu. You can't go wrong with Keanu.
Releasing John Wick 4, the same day that they're doing Bill and Ted.
Seriously? Awesome.
The exact same day.
Matrix, was it?
No, Matrix. That's right.
Really?
It's Matrix. Yeah. So
it'll be the decade of Keanu Reeves.
It already started.
Yeah, it started.
Yeah, he's great. I'll watch him. He can act.
Yeah,
he's believable in a lot of stuff.
That and he's just a really good guy.
Loved Speed. Don't judge Speed. I loved that movie.
This is better than the second one.
Yeah,
because he wasn't even in it.
Well, so that's it.
That's it. A whole decade. Thanks for checking this out. We're still on our way trying to get to 1,000. So if we hit 1,000 by the 31st, you get this.
And if not, I get it.
If not, Stuart's gonna get it and he's gonna use it as a backstretch. So don't let that happen.
Please don't let that happen.
So tell everybody, please subscribe.
Just 65 people. It's not a lot in the scheme of things. It's not a lot.
Not a lot. But thanks for checking us out. I'm Vince.
I'm Colleen, and that's Stuart over there. Geek out SA.
Bye-bye, 2010s.
Woo!
Geek out SA.
Happy New Year!